Good morning, developers. If you are new to the channel, my name is Rob, and it is Algorithm Monday, the day that we look at an algorithm, code challenge, something like that, to keep our problem-solving skills sharpened. We're taking a hard-earned rest from Project Euler to do a deductive interview question. There's no code here. I was asked this actual question at an interview for a software architect job, and for what it's worth, it paid a ton of money. It was 15 years ago, so it wouldn't be as much now, but the point is it's a legit question for a very legit job. There was no coding involved in it. It was more about what is your process? How creative are you? Can you work through this, etc. Okay, you'll see that as we go along. But the problem is this: I literally am giving it to you exactly as they gave it to me. At least as best I remembered, I guess. We have in front of you 3 buckets, and one of them contains apples, one of them contains oranges, and one of them contains both. This is the trouble bucket, as you will find. They are all mislabeled. Okay? One of them contains apples, but it's not this one. One of them contains just oranges, but it's not this one. One of them contains both, but it's not this one. You can reach into one bucket, pull out one piece of fruit, and then you need to be able to correctly label them every single time. You can't get lucky. What is your solution? And it's not a gimmicky solution. It might be interesting in the interview if you propose something like, you reach in and you try and feel for orange rinds versus apple skins, you try and feel a couple, or something quirky like go find a person who's allergic to apples and have them put their arm in and see if it gets, puffy. That's not the correct answer. There is a solution that will give you the correct solution every time. Please think through it. Don't get frustrated. Go through the process. Put some time into it. And I will meet you back here and we'll go through it. Welcome back. I hope you came to a solution that you're confident in. As I said, I love these. I love watching an interviewee go through the process. And if you don't come to the correct solution, that's usually okay, as long as you make an effort, as long as you ask questions, as long as it's obvious that you're going down the right path. Because usually in the real world, you will get to the right solution, or you'll talk to a coworker, you talk to me, whatever, you'll show me your progress, and we'll be able to get to the end together. What I don't want to see is that you try it, you get frustrated, and then you blurt out, "This is a stupid question. What does it have to do with coding?" Okay, that's yes, you on a day-to-day basis are not going to do this, but that's not what the point of the challenge is. The point of the challenge is, how do you think? Can you work through this? And if you can't, do you ask the right questions to help you get there? Because I will help you in the interview. If I was interviewing you, I would give you a hand. Now, I realize I've been on the other side of the table before. I was for this very question. I know what it's like to be frazzled and to feel like I'm being evaluated and just not be at the top of my game. So a couple of things to note here, process that I want to go through. First of all, what information is plain but not maybe obvious? There's lots of ways to say this. What information do we have from what I gave you? What can we draw out that is useful? So something that maybe it's drawing it out, maybe it's just saying it, whatever it is. What can we pull out and make sure that we use? And then 2, what options give us new information or maybe build on our information? So we look through, okay, let's draw out the new stuff. And then if we go to this bucket and we make this choice, what information does that give us? And how do we actually apply it and win with it? Okay? So where I'm going to start for number 1. What do we know that's maybe not totally obvious? Well, we know that this bucket is not apples, which means it has to be what? It has to be either the orange bucket or it has to be the both bucket. It has to, because there's only 3 options. We know it's not one of them, which means it has to be the other 2. We know this isn't the orange bucket. It could be the apple bucket or it could be the both bucket. And then lastly, we know this isn't the both bucket. That means it could be the apples or it could be the oranges. Now, that isn't enough information to solve it. We can't look at this just yet and solve it, but this is information that draws it out. Okay, we know it's one of these 2, okay, and we're going to use this. What options give us new information or build on the information that we have? So let's do some trials. If we reach into this bucket, what are the options to pull out based on these? These are the only 2 things it can be. We could pull out an orange, or if it's the both bucket, we could pull out an orange or an apple. So if we pull out an apple, we're in good shape. We know it's the both bucket. But if we pull out an orange, we're in trouble, right? You can't get lucky, so that's not a good option, at least based on what we know so far. Same thing is going to apply here. We reach in, we pull out an apple. It could be either one. We don't know which one. If you pull out an orange, that means you got lucky and you could apply, you could correctly label it, but that's not right. This is the correct one, right? This is where the answer lies. We know this isn't both. There's only two options. You reach in and you pull something out. If you pull out an apple, it has to be the apple bucket because that means it's not the orange bucket. There aren't any apples in the orange bucket. If this is the apple one, well, how do we build on that? How do we continue with number 2 here? Well, this one can't be the apple bucket because we found the apple bucket. It's not the orange bucket because it's labeled oranges and they're all mislabeled. So we have eliminated 2 possibilities. This has to be the both bucket. Go down farther. We found apples both. That means we can cross this one off. It can't be both because we've already found it. It can't be apples because it's mislabeled. That means it has to be oranges. We have solved the problem, and this will work every time. If we reached in and pulled out an orange, that would mean this couldn't be the orange bucket. It would have to be both. We found both. That means this couldn't be both. This has to be apples. This bucket is our key. That's that gets us to the solution. That is it, right? And if you didn't come to the right solution, or you're not naturally good at these, or you got frustrated, find more like this. Doing these will help you become a better creative problem solver, a better creative thinker, and it is absolutely a skill that anyone can improve. Some people are naturally good at it. You can work at it and get better, and it definitely will make a difference in your coding ability, in your ability to learn new platforms, libraries, troubleshoot, etc. Thanks so much for watching. I will link another Algorithm Monday video, and I will see you next time.